Hello guys, and welcome to my review of the Sony Blu-ray disc / DVD home theater system. Yes, that's the official name, quite a mouthful. And the internal name is BDV-E4100. That's what we have, and you have those three to choose from. Now, I am by no means a professional audio guy. I know very little about this. I'm more the hardware and programming guy, so stuff like this, I have really no idea and had to learn a lot. So please excuse my not existing knowledge about lots of stuff. Now, considering that, I was a little worried that I might not even be able to set this up properly because I'm just such a newbie with this stuff. But we decided it's time for us to get something like this for our house, finally. Get something like a little more advanced audio and home theater system. We were sick of the internal speakers of the TV we have here. Those are really not that great. That's a Panasonic. I have no idea. Panasonic TV. But the main reason was our old radio crapped out, and that was basically what set us off. All right, now we're gonna get a proper home theater system. So we looked around, we saw a Bose system, which is around $2,000, way out of our budget. And there were also some no-name stuff, which we also didn't want to get. Now, Sony, on the other hand, is a pretty reputable brand when it comes to sound. They do a lot with movies, and they have lots of cameras, so I suppose they're also good with sound. And they're generally a pretty nice company. So I decided, let's try out this Sony one. And we also like this particular one because it has a variety of speakers, and it can do lots of stuff. So what it can do, before we will get into what speakers I have here, it can do radio, FM radio, pretty simple radio. That was a requirement. We didn't want an additional device anymore. We wanted to do it all in one. Then it can play Blu-rays and DVDs, of course, which is also handy. We don't do that anymore a lot, but still nice to have. It can do Bluetooth, which is really good. That was also nice. It has a Wi-Fi connection, and it has optical audio and an HDMI port. And it comes with this remote here. That is the remote of it. And so when I set it up, you were greeted with lots of packaging and lots of speakers. Now first, those tall ones. There are two. One is standing here, and that is the so-called front L. And that inquires front left. Then you have another one. That one right there I mounted on the wall, and so yeah, wasn't taking up that much space. That is the same, just for right. Then you'll have those two surround speakers. That one is for the left, and that one there for the right. Those are the same. And you also get the center one, which, as you might guess, it's supposed to be set up in the center. Now they give you some mock-ups. You can either set them up all on front, which I did, or you can, for example, set the surround speakers, those two little ones, in the back, and you have surrounds. And we didn't want to do that, basically because of the cable. We didn't want to run it through the ceiling because it wouldn't look good. We also didn't want to run it under the floor. So we just decided, you know what, let's set it up on a row like this. It'll be good too. This is not a big room. So yeah, that is why we set it up this way. And it comes with this booklet, which is really one I actually recommend reading. It comes with lots of other crap, which isn't that useful, but this is really useful. It shows you all the basics, what you have to do, how to get it set up, and as you can see here are the mock-ups, how you can set them up. Oh, and I forgot, god damn it, the subwoofer. That's also included. Obviously, every good surround sound system needs a subwoofer. And so yeah, that completes the setup. Pretty awesome, pretty advanced. for what we're used to from a crappy radio. And yeah, it all comes to this together with this main unit or head unit or however you want to call it, the computer of all things. This is a Blu-ray player and computer and amplifier and all of that in one, which is very handy. I know the pro audio guys will say, oh my god, I need this and that amplifier, but we really don't need that. So that is pretty good. Hell, I don't even know how many wattage this has, because we're not really those guys who listen really to loud music all the time because of neighbors and such. But we're not doing any parties. We're just not those types of people. So it isn't really that important that it's super loud. It's more the audio quality. And so yeah, when you set it up for the first time, you were supposed to plug it in all nicely and easily done. You can adjust. I don't want to really mess up my cables here when I try to show you that. Basically, what you just can't do it wrong. There are all these colors, and in the back you can also find descriptions of what the speakers are. Those are really easy things. Everybody can figure that out. So just hook up the right color and that's it. Then you have here an optical audio, which goes to our TV. I've also had some troubles with that. That's not the fault of the Sony though. That was more the fault of the TV. I'll come back to that later. Here is the HDMI and the antenna. Set up the antenna, guys, before I forgot, and it would not show or would not have any signal of radio. I actually first thought oh no, it's broken, but then stupid me finally figured out that I need an antenna for radio, FM radio. So now that I got that finally figured out, it was working. I started testing it and everything good. So I'll just quickly show you how this operating system looks, because it's very similar to if you have ever had a PS3, it is basically the same. So when you turn on the TV, you need to switch channels or inputs more from TV to HDMI 2. HDMI 2 because the HDMI 1 has problems. I don't know, it doesn't stay connected all the time, which is really annoying. And now the Sony isn't turned on yet, so you turn it on here in the remote, which you can also do with those buttons there. You can also switch around stuff.
Neben Gastronomie und Freizeitbetrieben
wait a minute.
der Handel geschlossen.
Here also some buttons, but we haven't pressed this like single time yet. Only once when we were ejecting here the tray for the Blu-ray, but that's really all we did. Alright, so back to the OS here. Now this OS first greets you with a setup screen, which is really neat. So really easy and simple to set up. And you have a home button there. So when you press that, it brings you back to this PS3 style operating system there. And you can go through here, settings, it even has an update, you can connect it to Wi-Fi. And you can choose through a variety of things here. You can see pictures if you really want to view that. You can also use that as a media, like home theater, PC type of thing. Although, don't really recommend doing that. And it's not its primary goal to be used anyway. So, but you could. And that's pretty cool too. So here is the first thing. Now, I love this whole hardware. I think it sounds great, it's really easy to set up and all that, but where it falls a little short is when it already has such a nice operating system, is the apps themselves, because maybe that's just because I'm involved with software development on a daily basis. Maybe that's why I focus so much on this, but I just figured they could have done a better job. What I mean by that is, you go in here and you have, for example, here 95.4, that's a radio station. And you have to tune through the radio stations just like on your old ass radio from 1990. There's virtually no difference. You can use the tuning here and you can then set a station, which is I don't know if it's technically not possible because I'm really not that informed how FM works and all that. But I suppose they could have maybe made it a little more appealing at least. And also, you have all of that space there. You could choose maybe your already saved stations. So if I were to save this station here, I would press here for all buttons options, which is also not that intuitive. And then you can here save the station. And that makes sense from now on. You have your FM 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like, your presets, and you can then set them to whatever you want. And there's virtually no limit because you're dealing here with a computer which has way more storage than your old school radio, so you can have probably FM whatever 200 if you really had to do that. But yeah, and we have here a couple of saved. We have here FM 1, which is a radio station, then FM 2, FM 3, FM 4. Those are the most ones we usually listen to. And once you got that figured out, it's actually not that bad. Now, a misconception is, that's from somebody actually that I showed this, was this TV needs to be on in order to that the whole radio works and the whole system functions. No, that's wrong. You can turn it off. There's no reason for this to be on. So, as you can hear, it works. And when I turn off the TV here, it stays on. And also, it doesn't need to be like on to do anything, actually. You can do it all here with a remote. And if you were to choose between stations here, if you're in FM mode, you can also do here 2. Now I'm at FM 2. Second station there. Number 3. And it all displays it. Just always turning it off because, YouTube copyright and all that shit. But you have this little LED, which is neat. This is a really useful display there. So if you were to switch around the stuff, for example here, FM 1, you have it, there we go. Oh, that's terrible music there. FM 2, FM 3, and so on. You get the picture. And now it doesn't stop there. You can also go to Bluetooth, which is Bluetooth, guessed it. And you press it, and it goes immediately to Bluetooth. This is very useful. And now here's another criticism I have. Sony, come on. This is so great. This can do so much stuff. Why couldn't you have included, for example, a separate button for the goddamn FM? I don't know why. You have audio here. You have TV. Also not here. Doesn't work in my case. You have not FM here, but you then have sleep here and football, which is only like a setting for the audio. This layout really doesn't make all too much sense in my opinion. You have to choose between those whole functions in the function button. So you press function, then it goes to Bluetooth. Now it's for example in Bluetooth mode. And then you can go to audio mode, or to DVD, Blu-ray mode, or TV mode. Just try to get that. USB also, yeah, forgot that. Can also play from USB here. Yeah, FM again. TV, there you go. And you're, as you can see, you're easily pressing one too much. So here, now it's in TV mode. I don't know why they couldn't have made a separate button, for example. Now you might say, hey, it has a TV button. Yes, it has. And I reckon it works with a lot of different TVs. But in our case here, the Panasonic Viera, it doesn't work. And what you have to do is, usually Panasonic has this thing called Panasonic Viera Link, which does this. You can then control the devices with the Panasonic remote, which is neat. Unfortunately, as I said, it just doesn't work great with this Sony system here. So with the Sony home theater system, it doesn't work, but probably it would with the Panasonic. That's a thing that is between companies, maybe a little. So yeah, isn't really all that bad. The only downside is I now have two remotes, like in the old days, you know, when you had a DVD player and such. I cannot set the volume anymore here with the Panasonic remote. I have to do it here in the Sony remote, which isn't a big deal, just a little thing to get used to. But I suppose if you had a Panasonic system, you could do it easily with the Panasonic remote probably. Alright, also I had to change here the optical gain to 0. It was previously, I think, defaultly set to -8 here. And what it would do there is, it would be extremely silent in TV mode. Then you would, of course, turn up the volume here. And when you switch around back to Bluetooth or FM, it would be horrendously loud. It would blow you, like it would just shock everyone around your neighborhood because it was so loud. So I set it to 0, and now it's around the same volume. It isn't like super loud or super silent. It's just perfect when you switch between the modes, which is a big deal actually on day-to-day use. So this works great and all. DVD, Blu-ray works great because it functions basically just like a regular DVD, Blu-ray player. And there's a tray that always opens up regardless of what mode. That's also neat. And yeah, I really like it. It cost, I think, 389 euros, which is a lot for us, but I know in audio world might just be cheap. I really don't know. Now please don't get me started on like the different modes on like sound quality testing. I've just no bloody idea, guys. I'm being honest here. I'm a total noob when it comes to audio stuff. But I know how to operate a Bluetooth audio thing. So as you can see, you could even choose here the mode between in the operating system. So really a couple of different ways how to choose that. So we get to Bluetooth audio, and now as you can see, we have here the name BluRay home theater system. And when you go here to your Bluetooth in the iPhone, for example, there it is, and it can start playing some stuff.
Good celebration. Magic.
Was muted before. Even shows me there my iPhone. In this case, from playing from YouTube, it doesn't show any infos here. I just can't test that really any further because I don't have any music on my iPhone. So maybe if I were to play it from the stock music app, it would maybe show this. But hey, it's not a big deal. You can, again, turn off, and you will in practice turn off the TV, and it will just play it without you seeing all of this, because it's just so simple. It doesn't need a code, anything to be like authorized, or it just works. You connect it and it works, and as long as you stay connected, it will play your stuff. So yeah, what can I say? I think Sony did a great job on the whole hardware side, and overall, you know, it's all first world problems. We immediately got used to here switching, toggling between the functions here, going to audio mode. We never use audio mode. Going here to, for example, FM mode, and then use it there, and then switch to, for example, TV mode when we want to watch TV. I know people would make this out to be, oh, such a huge deal. I have to press here and then turn on the TV, or other way around. We first thought too, and it could easily be resolved, but hey, it's not a big deal. And I suppose with maybe more modern TVs, or a Sony TV will probably work just fine by pressing this button here, really. Because it says TV on, but that doesn't do anything with our Panasonic. You can press it all day long, it doesn't do anything. So, yeah. The Sony home theater Blu-ray, what the hell do I know, system works pretty well, has a nice sound to it, and that's why we bought it. So if you're a beginner, if you're if you're not a pro guy, if you want a simple little system that can do all this cool stuff, Bluetooth, USB, Wi-Fi, TV, optical, Blu-ray player, then get it. Really, it's a nice all-in-one solution. Before, we used to have a Blu-ray player, a receiver with our old TV, which thankfully this one already has built in, and just a million devices, a million remotes. And now we like narrowed it down to 2 remotes, 1 device, and a nice surround sound system. So yeah, this is my first and probably only review of an audio related device, because as I said, this is not my like field of expertise. I'm a total noob when it comes to audio, but I know, and I know good quality audio, and I like listening to it, and I would now more than often sit here and just listen to a couple of tunes while doing something on the laptop, because it's just such a nice, got such a nice sound to it. All right, so yeah, that's my little review. I hope you enjoyed it. I quite liked our little upgrade. Well, it's quite a big upgrade, to be honest with you, for us. And yeah, we'll, I think, have fun with it the next years. So yeah, I hope you like this crappy review, and I'll see you in the next video.